Coming up on Valley News Live at 10, shuffling students who will be going where as Fargo school leaders make changes. A bait and switch, neighbors saying that they were offered homes near a park that now may be sold and developed. Plus, will teachers be bumped up in the line for a COVID vaccine? Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
New at 10 tonight, big decisions within the Fargo School District. First off, Fargo parents expressing their concerns after the district's announcement that schools would continue in their current learning model with a goal of returning to the classroom full-time next month. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly spoke to parents on both sides of the argument this evening, and Katie joins us now in the studio with the latest.
Mike, the recent decision regarding the instructional plan from Fargo Public Schools sparked controversy. The group North Dakota Parents Against Distance Learning support the district's goal of full in-person learning by January 19th, saying this benefits students' mental health by giving them consistency, as well as helps students with special needs and those who rely on the resources schools offer in person. But the conversation doesn't stop there. Members of CARE, or Community Alliance for Responsible Education, say the decision to go back to the classroom is reckless. They expressed concerns that experts are warning of possible spikes of COVID-19 following the holiday season, which could be costly.
Hybrid distance learning, we put disadvantaged children at a very, very much higher rate of issues to do with abuse, domestic violence, hunger.
The levels in our community right now are still extremely high. We have uncontrolled spread and we have an inability to contact trace. And so even though, we keep hearing that schools are the safest place for kids, and we believe in general that they are, we don't think they are right now.
Ultimately, the Instructional Plan Committee will meet again December 21st and possibly again in January to confirm their plans going forward. Mike?
All right, thanks, Katie. Fargo's school superintendent says the instructional model going forward is not finalized. It's a goal to return to the classroom. The district will be watching for a spike in COVID cases following the holidays and will take staffing concerns into account. Another controversial topic. Tonight, the school board, on a narrow 5-3 vote, decided on a plan that changes school boundaries. Plan A calls for an area west of 25th Street and north of 17th Avenue to be assigned to Ben Franklin and north, all of Kennedy to Carl Ben Eielson and south, and all of Eagles to Discovery and Davies. The plan takes effect for the 2022-2023 school year. Administrators will now come up with a transition plan and will bring it back to the board for its consideration. Also tonight, Woodrow Wilson High School in Fargo will be renamed Dakota High School starting next school year. It was decided that the name Woodrow Wilson would be changed due to the racist history of the former president. It was a close vote tonight, with Dakota High School edging out Central High School. A mascot will be decided later. People living in a South Fargo neighborhood reached out to our whistleblower hotline, saying a park near their homes has been sold and the developer plans to put 40 lots in its place. Neighbors say that wasn't part of the plan. The project was already approved by the Planning Commission, and now city commissioners will have their say.
They're basically lied to you, because if you went on all the websites, it said it was going to be for park. Home buyers do the due diligence, and they still end up in a bad situation.
I would like to see, our city do the right thing by our residents.
No timeline yet on when city commissioners will make that call. Now, if you need help with an issue in your community, reach out to our whistleblower hotline. There's the number on your screen, 701-237-6576. Call that number and leave your tip. The first Minnesotans to get the new coronavirus vaccine in the initial wave could get their shots as early as Christmas week. That coming from Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and state officials today. Minnesota is poised to get nearly 47,000 doses of Pfizer vaccine next week, followed by 136,000 doses of the Moderna vaccine in the 2 weeks following that, for a total of more than 183,000 within the first month. Minnesota will give the first doses to healthcare personnel and residents of long-term care facilities. Some Republican lawmakers are unveiling a bill to ensure that teachers are some of the first to receive the vaccine. Reporter Jennifer Hoff was on a call this morning. She says some of the lawmakers are calling it critical that teachers get the vaccine because of the negative effects distance learning has had on students.
We are here today to talk about a bill.
On a Zoom call, several Republican lawmakers joining students and teachers to unveil a new bill stressing why educators are essential workers and very important to preserving students' mental health.
Distance learning is just not the same. Kids need to be in the classroom. They need their teachers.
This fall, the CDC formally recognized educators and several other groups as essential workers, likely to get a COVID-19 vaccine after healthcare workers and people in long-term care facilities.
With respect to first responders, the reason I chose to move teachers up is because I've seen the mental health impact this is having on our kids.
These stories are sad.
The lawmakers didn't provide data, but say there are lots of stories of students dropping out of distance learning, contributing to falling enrollment, while one high schooler reports feeling depressed and lonely.
I even don't feel like myself sometimes. It's just a melancholy clock in, clock out. Every single day is the same.
The bill doesn't make teachers get the vaccine, but it does recommend the state's 72,000 licensed staff plus paraprofessionals be able to voluntarily get it sooner rather than later.
The reality is we need to bring them to the table and figure out how big and how fast and how many need to have the vaccination so that we can get kids into school safely and in a speedy fashion.
Republicans plan to announce this bill in the upcoming special session, which Governor Walz is expected to announce in the next week or two. The North Dakota Nurses Association has asked its members on its Facebook page if they plan to take the vaccine. Of the more than 40 comments in the first few hours, the response was almost evenly split. Association President Tessa Johnson is in support of the vaccine. She says she's hopeful it will protect nurses so they can continue to be there for their patients.
We can get this vaccine distributed to healthcare workers in large groups. It's a game changer for us. We hope that that will create the barrier that we need to this virus and that we can keep our healthcare workers at work.
Johnson adds that she sees it as a necessary step to protect herself and her patients. Another big blow in the President Trump's efforts to overturn election results. Today, the U.S. Supreme Court denied a request from Pennsylvania Republicans to block Joe Biden's win. The one-line order was issued with no noted dissents. As of late today, President Trump says he thought the justices, including 3 of his nominees, might step in and take his side, as he has repeatedly suggested massive voter fraud during the election. Later on Valley News Live at 10, a home is a total loss after an explosion. We'll tell you where it happened and what we know. But first, we might be able to squeeze out one more day of these unseasonable temperatures. Hutch joins us with a full forecast right after this break.